and Thursday with temps in the high teens. And currently 7 degrees. More news as it happens on 5AA.
This is 5AA Breakfast. Thanks to Jeep. For superior performance and rugged capability, test drive the all-new Jeep Cherokee at your local Jeep dealership.
6:35, in fact, at 6:36. What is the future of our submarine contract? We're going to speak to someone in Japan about just who might design and build our next fleet a little later in the program. Jane, a bit of fog around.
Yeah, thanks to our listener who has texted in telling us that there is really bad fog between Malala and Two Wells, so take care. And if you see anything out there that we should know about, especially for other people on the roads, let us know. You can text us on 1999 3095 or give us a call on 822 30000. But look, they've got more than fog across the ditch in New Zealand. Wellington has come to a standstill with heavy rain. To tell us more, we're joined now by Selwyn Manning from eveningreport.nz. Selwyn, it sounds pretty nasty over there.
Yeah, it certainly is, Jane. The capital city, as you alluded to, came to a standstill, particularly yesterday when the rain came down, and it was certainly a lot of rain. I can report this morning that the Met Service states that 240 millimetres of rain fell in that region in that 24-hour period. That's more than you would get for the month of May, for the whole of the month of May on average. Also, sadly, the body of an 80-year-old man was found drowned near the Hutt River in Wellington. His car was nearby, keys in the ignition, and it was submerged in water. So it certainly has been a serious, serious event down there.
Well, that's almost half of what we get in Adelaide in a whole year. Our average is 550, so you've had 240 in a day. And is it likely to continue, this really bad rain?
As we understand it, I'm up in the Auckland area and the rain is just starting to come here. There are rain warnings in the Bay of Plenty region, and even overnight, the Mount Maunganui is a part of the Tauranga area of Bay of Plenty on the east coast of the North Island, about 2 hours southeast of Auckland, and tornadoes ripped through Mount Maunganui, destroying large structures, homes. People were... One person was in the shower at the time, managed to get a towel and run for safety to a nearby building. It certainly has been a weather event that has taken everybody by surprise. The expectation is, as it passes over Auckland, New Zealand's biggest city, is that it's not going to have the power or the sustaining rainfall that Wellington had. The waterways, the rivers, the creeks, the streams in the Wellington region apparently are down this morning, although still very, very saturated. There are slips that have occurred on the main highways exiting out of Wellington. They blocked the highways yesterday. I understand that many of those slips have been cleared so at least cars can get through. But that was a big contributor to the gridlock in the capital city yesterday, Jane.
And now, Selwyn, this next item is pretty bizarre and pretty macabre. A body strapped to a gurney has found its way into traffic in South Auckland. How on earth did that happen?
Yeah, it's a New Zealand Herald report, this one, Dave. A man and his wife and their 14-year-old daughter were parked at one of the busiest intersections in South Auckland. And next thing, a hearse from Pacific Memorial, it's a funeral directors there in South Auckland, it took off from the lights when the lights went green, obviously. But out the back of the hearse, a body strapped to a gurney and wrapped in a sheet shot out and basically got stuck in the middle of the intersection, blocking everything. So there's a marvellous quote here. You can imagine, the shock horror of people. And the woman in the car that I'm referring to, she said that the body bag fell out. No one wanted to get out of their cars. She said she could tell that. She said to her husband, babe, do you see what I see? And he just jumped out and tried to help. But then when he was trying to help the undertaker get the body back into the hearse, the hearse lid on the back door, the tailgate type thing, kept on falling down on top of them. Apparently it happened 2 or 3 times, and then the daughter jumped out of the car, ran over, held that up. They got the hearse back in, slammed the door shut, and off it went. So the wife is reported in the Herald as saying that her husband, he is in shock after the incident. He's so disturbed by it, she says, and here's a direct quote, he's been up all night for the last 2 nights thinking about it. He just can't sleep thinking about what had happened. Now, the undertakers have said, Dave, that the corpse had been inspected after the incident. It was unharmed, and the funeral directors have apologised to the family of the deceased, and New Zealand Herald is reporting that the family is okay about that.
I've got to say, the idea of a corpse being unharmed is kind of unusual, isn't it? It's like, we've checked and he's still dead.
It's great news.
He's unchecked and he's not harmed, he's okay,
That's right.
Kind of the irony factor. It's like a scene out of one of those old Eric Sykes kind of comedies.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Around or something.
Yeah, spinning around in circles.
Yeah.
It was probably pretty distressing for that poor family.
dear.
Fascinating stuff. Good on you, Selwyn. Always great to talk to you. That's Selwyn Manning there, the editor of Evening Report.